Hey folks, it is Wednesday, January 5th. The time is 11:31 a.m. and the temperature is around 4 degrees Celsius. That was the 54B bus I just got off. And this here is Eglinton Avenue East. And there's a look back towards Midtown Toronto, and that is west. And for this one, I'll be heading east a few blocks over to Laird Drive, and then I'll be walking south down Laird to where it becomes Millwood, and then I'll continue on to Overlea Boulevard, and then I'll head into the Thorncliffe Park neighborhood. I think it's the East York Community Hub where I'm heading to. I can double check that name. Or the Thorncliffe Park Community Hub. And this here is the Leaside neighborhood. And this is located in the former borough of East York. And we've had some off and on again light rain so far today. And I think there's supposed to be more rain throughout the afternoon. And this is also the first day of the province-wide new restrictions kicking in. Which means I cannot hop into that pizza over there and grab a slice and eat it while I'm there. And just here on the right is the future home of the Laird LRT station. And that's part of the Crosstown LRT. And that'll be running along Eglinton Avenue here. Behind me to the west will be the Leaside station. And that'll be at Bayview and Eglinton. And it looks like the sidewalk is closed here. Yeah, that appears to be the case. Well, I get it. There is no formal crossing here. It's on the north side. So I'm waiting for a crossing light that doesn't exist. I'll just go anyways. So technically, to follow the rules, I would have had to have crossed north there, and then east, and then south to where I am. Nuts to that. Heading eastbound, I think this is the last underground station. Actually, I think there's one more at the Ontario Science Centre, but it's all above ground other than that. And sadly, there's no traffic or traffic light priority for the LRT vehicles, so we spend all this money building a rapid transit line, and it'll basically be a glorified streetcar above ground to the east. There's some new developments going in. And now the rain's starting to come down a bit more. Tao, Northern Chinese cuisine. So I'm in this area because at around 12:15 or so, I have an appointment in Thorncliffe Park to get my booster shot. So this will be shot number 3 for me. I got my first one last April. That was AZ or AstraZeneca. I got that at a pharmacy, and then a few months later, I got my second shot, and there was a lot of really poor messaging by our officials regarding AZ, and I would have liked to have just had a second one of those, but I couldn't get one, so I ended up getting Pfizer for my second shot. And now it looks very much like I'm going to have Moderna for the third one, so you could call it the unlucky jackpot. That's what someone I know who works at an injection clinic calls it. Not sure if that car turning saw me or not, but I'll blame that car for being out too far and blocking the intersection. Taco, fine dining Japanese restaurant. Well, I hope they do a good takeout and delivery service. So this is the north end of East York, and Leaside itself is a fairly affluent neighborhood. It's located northeast of downtown. There's something you don't see a whole lot, a fireworks shop right next to the Leaside pub. I've walked this stretch in the video once before. I think I did that about a year ago. There's a big plaza of big box retailers just up here on the left. This would actually be where my local Best Buy is now, since the one at Eglinton and Laird closed down. And this is Wicksteed Avenue. So just off to the west over there's a rather nice residential neighborhood. That idiot in the white car honked at that Subaru for not turning, even though there was a lady pushing a stroller. Good job, Audi. What did they expect? For that Subaru to just plow through the lady pushing her kid? This is definitely a car-centric neighborhood. Leaside itself was incorporated as a township back in 1913. And my reference for that information is me. While I was getting ready to come out today, I threw up my old Leaside video on the smart TV. That can't be a very good way to research your walking videos. It was rolled into the township of York back in '67. And back then it was considered to be a suburb of Toronto. And it still very much feels like a suburb. Especially with such a big suburban style development like this over here. There's a large Home Depot at the end. There's a number of restaurants in here as well, which I can't imagine will be doing a very good business. A huge Canadian flag. There's a Sobeys grocery store, Sport Check Winners, Best Buy, and a golf town. That looks like there's an old warehouse across the street that's being preserved, or at least the facade is being preserved. I think I said Leaside has around 14,000 residents in total. And back in the 30s, Lincoln set up shop here to make luxury vehicles. stretch of Laird Drive is serviced by the 56 bus. Funnily enough, here comes one now. And that'll be running up to Eglinton Station. So it'll head north up to Eglinton and then it'll turn west. And I think it originates at Donlan Station to the south. There's another big development going in across the street. So this area definitely has an industrialized look and feel to it. And that is Commercial Road, part of the Leaside Business Park. It's not a particularly pedestrian-friendly neighborhood. At least not this stretch. And not too far to the south of here, Laird Drive turns into Millwood. There's an old car dealership with a redevelopment notice on it. Stickney Avenue. And how am I doing for time? 11:20. Wow, I am a lot earlier than I thought I might be. I didn't really want to risk being that late. I think it'll only take a little over 30 minutes or so to get down to Thorncliffe Park. There's a cop or a police car over there just kind of hiding in the woods. Well, hopefully no one was hurt in that wreck. There's Leaside Village. It's another suburban style plaza development. And in the back, there's a Longo supermarket, and that's in the building that used to house the old Canadian Northern Railway lines. Or rather, their locomotive shop, and that was built in 1919. And since I'm doing well on time, I'll take a quick detour through here. I think that's just the second Amsterdam brewhouse location in Toronto, the other one being down on the lake. There's the Longos. I don't know if I've ever seen bike parking like that before. That is pretty neat. There's a Booster Juice. And an Aroma Cafe. See, a day like this where I have a little bit of time to kill would have been ideal for just popping into a cafe. At least one of the ones in Thorncliffe Park when I get there. But I can't do that anymore. And it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm on my way to get a booster. I'm already fully vaccinated. There's an overwhelming consensus that if you are vaccinated, you are most likely, or at least significantly less likely to suffer any serious illness. And being relatively healthy, I was at low risk anyways, and neither are the employees if they're vaccinated, and you all wear masks. So it's really one of the lowest risk environments possible. So why is that being shut down? There's a Five Guys, look at that. How is this place making a dime today? They're probably operating at a loss. Welcome to Crazy Town. And I think the same logic applies to gyms and other places that can't open. They begged everyone to get their shots. And for those of us that did, we're still being punished, even though there's almost no risk involved. And I do get the argument that you can still pick it up and spread it outside of those environments, but really, is that really a concern? On the bus I was on, I counted about 6 people that were unmasked or had them below their nose or chin. If it's such a concern, you think the government would do something about that. But nope. Same goes if you ever go to a large store like a Walmart or a supermarket. So it's just my humble opinion that these restrictions are mostly just theater, so they can pat themselves on the back and say they're doing something. At least a lot of them are, the ones that punish small businesses. And we are coming up to the end of Laird Drive. This is Millwood Road, straight ahead. There's the original San Francisco Italian sandwiches with an old school Husky gas bar out front. Little wave to that driver. I get it, if you're making a left turn, it can be a little dicey. You might want to creep out just to get a better view, so I don't really blame him. And they backed up. And there's the Leaside Memorial Community Gardens across the street. It's a large public arena. XYZ Storage. Speaking of Z, it is Bevy YHZ's birthday today. Happy birthday, Bevy. She's a moderator on this channel, and I think she's doing a stream later today. And there's Look North, up Laird. Oh, I got the time wrong earlier. I said it was 11:20. It's 11:50. So my timing is actually pretty good, I think. large 4-topping pizza, $12.99. There is Redway Road. And there's a set of somewhat hidden steps right there that lead down to nothing. I did a video on those last year. That was part of my Hidden Toronto series. I'll have to crack that one open again and make some more of those videos. So now I'm heading south down the east side of Millwood Road. I think there's a big either water or waste treatment plant just at the bottom there. That is the Don Valley. You can't get much of a view from this part, so I'll just stay on this side of the street. And I'm now coming up upon Thorncliffe Park. And there'll be a new subway line passing through here pretty soon, the Ontario Relief Line. Well, pretty soon. I mean, at some point in our lifetimes, hopefully. As this is a neighborhood that doesn't have the best transit access. And those towers straight ahead are part of Thorncliffe Park. There used to be an old horse race track right on the corner there. And I think the population of Thorncliffe Park is around 25,000 people or so. It's one of the denser neighborhoods in Toronto. It's about 80% visible minorities. And it's a community of mostly mid to high-rise towers. I think about 90% of the residents here rent. And a lot of newer immigrants to Canada have landed here over the years, so I think this area is held near and dear to a lot of people. It's also got an extremely low overall crime rate from the last time I looked that up. It's just kind of disconnected and isolated from the rest of the city. You almost get that feeling here at the entrance where there's a large gate that says Thorncliffe Park on it. That's just across the street. There's an overpass just to the south of here that heads over the Don Valley, and you get a pretty spectacular view of the skyline from there. And we are in Thorncliffe Park. The last time I recorded a walking video through here, I got an email as well as an Instagram DM from a resident who was quite livid that her and her children were captured on film on my video, and she was demanding that I take it down. And it's not like I set out to film them, they just happened to be in the background. They barely made an appearance, and I kind of politely replied that I'd be happy to obscure their images from my video, so I went to the YouTube tools and I figured out how to do that to a pre-existing uploaded video. But also that really, if you see someone with a camera in public, if you don't want to be in a picture or a video, then just avoid them. They have every right to be recording and filming. And it's not like I set out to film people specifically. But if you happen to be in the background, so be it. Imagine living in some kind of dystopian society where you're not allowed to film out in public. This is Leaside Park Drive. There's a lot of commercial buildings just here on the left. And I think there's a Costco located in an old Coca-Cola bottling facility. This is Overlea. I think it's Overlea. I've heard people say Overlea. I'm pretty sure it's Overlea. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Keslow camera. Decided not to go with the layers approach today. I'm wearing the heavy warm coat with just a thin t-shirt underneath. Kind of regretting that. Just a thick hoodie would have done. I always could have thrown a second one in my backpack just in case it wasn't enough. There's a plaza. And in the background there, those really tall towers are the Leaside towers. And once upon a time, they're some of the tallest residential towers in the city. And unfortunately, they are also home, I think, to Bruce MacArthur, who was later revealed to be a serial murderer. The one that was on the run for a very long time. And they've got a Wendy's here. A Wendy's and a Timmy's. Awesome. There's a mall just up here on the right where I'm heading. And I think this clinic is partnered with a local hospital. I just read that for adults, starting tomorrow, they'll only be giving Moderna. And then they're reserving all the Pfizer for those that are younger, whom it's approved for. Maybe I can find that headline here. Yeah, Pfizer will be prioritized for those 12 to 17 starting January 6th. And only Moderna will be available for adults after January 6th. So this is my last chance to get a Pfizer shot. I've heard from my friend who works at one of these clinics that a lot of people get quite snarly when they don't get their shot of choice, which I think is ridiculous. If you're willing to show up and get one, you just kind of should not be able to shop around. Just take what they offer. Especially so earlier in the pandemic when we had such a limited supply and people were making appointments and they were turning away when they didn't get the one they wanted. Leaving a vacant appointment. There's the Food Basics. And this is the East York Town Center. And I think the East York Community Hub is on the east side of this mall. Use the word mall loosely. Here's some geese. There used to be a bowling alley in here at one time, a bowlerama. There's the Costco. And it is 12:04. So I think it's said to arrive no more than 20 minutes early. Yes, let's block the sidewalk. All right, I think I'm going over there. I see a rather long line of people on the sidewalk. I kind of need to use the facility. Doesn't make sense to have an appointment if you have to wait half an hour after the fact. There's a look at the Costco. So it appears I have arrived. I think this is one of the easier appointments to get. Always seem to be available when you pull up the provincial booking system. Yikes, look at that line. I think I'm gonna pop in and find a facility before I join the line. Let me just double check to make sure I won't be pushing my luck if I do that. And it doesn't look like I'll be able to enter over here. All right, I'll go figure out that line situation in a minute. Maybe I'll do an update to this video after the fact. Hi, no sir. There's a bathroom this way?
Yeah, go straight, turn this way.
Thank you. Very friendly. This is kind of interesting. Looks like there's a retail center there or a center for the Leaside towers. There's the East York Medical Health Center. I'm going to do a quick lap of this place since I'm here. I don't know if I've ever been in here before. And it just continues that way a little bit over to the Food Basics supermarket. In style. If they have to put a quality product on the sign, I'm going to have to question that. Okay. I think that's just about enough. So I hope you enjoyed this walk so far. Maybe I'll do an update after this. Starting at Eglinton and Laird, heading south down Laird and into Thorncliffe Park and here to the East York Town Center. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you wish to support the channel, there are links to Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. I also have an Instagram account. Oh, it says washrooms that way, but also washrooms down there. Oh, no, that sign says washrooms right. I'm a dummy. And I have a merch store at strideswag.com. And I'm going to head down and end the video. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.